Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Masterpiece Inspirations, where we bring you inspirations to help you actualize your potentials and live a purpose driven life. I'm still your host, Clems. I hope you're all doing very well and you are staying positive and dreaming high despite the challenges. So today we are gonna continue again from our series on overcoming crisis. But before we go forward, I would like to give a very big shout out to all our fans, all of you who have been sending in your amazing messages of support. We do appreciate that. And then if this is the first time you're gonna be hearing this at any point in time, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our Masterpiece Inspiration blogs. That's gonna help you anytime we put out new contents. You can receive it directly in your inbox. So once we attach the links to the blogs and other information. And then if you have not, you can also partner with us at our Patreon page to help us, produce this content and then make it available in different languages. By you partnering with us, you get access to exclusive membership contents too. So yeah, having said that, let's dive in today to the topic. So today, I'm gonna be talking about how you can deal with mental health and physical health issues. So basically looking at how we can overcome anxiety and stress. Due to the current pandemic and the global economic crisis, a lot of people are going through, quite a tough time. Some actually had traumatic experiences. Some have lost loved ones. Some have lost their jobs, means of livelihood. Some cannot be with their loved ones. You have parents that are in social care. Nobody can visit them. And all sorts of things. Some can't even attend the funeral ceremonies of their loved one. So our aim is to, help you, bring to you some inspirations and motivations that can help you to start envisioning a better future. Start looking at life in another dimension. So today I think this is quite an interesting topic, and I hope by the end of this episode you're gonna be, you will get some valuable information from this. Now before I dive into today's topic, just want to make it clear that I'm not in any way a medical expert. So whatever I'm gonna be bringing to you today is basically based on my own research and the things that I've also applied in my own life, and it has really helped me. So my background is electrical engineering, so I'm a scientist, and I'm so quite I continuously develop myself. So the information I'm bringing to you today is things that I've kind of researched on, and I've applied some of them, and definitely I hope by the time we're done today, you're gonna get something valuable to in the messages coming across to you today. Okay, so knowing that in this current crisis that is facing the global community, it is important to take a moment to refocus our minds to protect both our mental and physical health. So I would like to start this conversation with a quote from my favorite book, and it goes like this: "Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? That's an amazing quote. You see, I think that the quotation is very important. It is a reminder that by worrying and being anxious, it is totally unproductive and it will never get the problem solved. So I know that there is so much anxiety. Some people are anxious, and then coming down to December, we are hearing about another lockdown and people not being able to connect together. But my friend, cheer up. It could be worse. So by worrying about it, being anxious, it can solve it. So yeah, you see, from a neurological point of view, there are hormones in our brains which are associated with emotions. The hormones of happiness can be triggered by positive emotions. For instance, when you are in love and your heart is always tingling with positive excitements and expectations. For those of you, I'm trying to let you know how, because by managing our emotions and how we look at things, we can actually begin to make some changes in our mental and physical health. So in the field of neurology, so neurological science, the hormones in the brain that are associated with emotions, something like positive emotions, are often, when we evoke positive emotions, it's actually the hormones of happiness, is responsible for that, and that hormone is what is called the dopamine hormone. You see, when somebody is is in love, or you are having quite a positive expectations. You see, you think about somebody all the time, and it makes you smile. You are tingling with expectations. These are you in that particular instances, you are the dopamine hormone is actually at work. You feel happy. You feel excited. For those of you lover boys and lover girls, you get what I'm saying. So just keeping it real. So also the hormone that is another hormone that is associated with this kind of events that regulates our mood is called the serotonin hormone. And then there are also other hormones which we evoke when we feel happy, we are expectant, we are looking forward to something good. We trigger positive emotions. Other hormones that are also responsible for pleasure, for happiness. You have hormones like the oxytocin, the endorphins. Okay, so basically I think there are 4 of them. So likewise, in as much as we have this happiness hormone, likewise there are also hormones of stress which can be triggered by negative emotions such as anger, fear, insecurity, hopelessness. So whenever we start getting anxious and worrying about things, you see, the negative emotions triggers hormones of stress. And you see, I have come to also observe that there is a close correlation between the modern day scientific discoveries and the loads of information that are hidden in the scriptural passages which were written over 2,000 years ago. Because some of these things that are being discovered, by science, medical science, about how the hormones can actually affect, our body in terms of the kind of emotions that we evoke, whether it's positive or negative emotions. Some of these informations are actually been written quite a long time ago. I like this quote from the book of Proverbs. It says, "A joyful, cheerful heart brings healing to the body and the soul. But the one whose heart is crushed struggles with sickness and depression." What a quote. Okay, see, I came out, there was this, I was, as I was, I do read, a lot of medical journals and stuff like that. So I came across a statement from medical article, and that statement goes like this, kind of relating to what I read previously from the book of Proverbs. But the science now gives it a more detailed outlook. It says, happiness underlying factors are considerable from two dimensions. The two dimensions are the endogenic factors. So within the endogenic factors, that's the internal factors, you have things like biological, cognitive, personality, and other, what they refer to as ethical sub-factors. So these internal factors regulate happiness. Then another factor, because there are two dimensions to this, say another factor is called the exogenic factors. That's the external factors. And these include behavioral, social, cultural, economical, geographical, life events, and aesthetic sub-factors. And then it says, among all these factors, the endogenic factor are the most significant predictors of happiness. So the internal factors, what really goes on within you, are the things that actually controls, your happiness. So, and that kind of relates to what I said earlier from the books of Proverbs. Let me repeat that again. The book of Proverbs says, a joyful, cheerful heart brings healing to both the body and the soul. But one whose heart is crushed struggles with sickness and depression. It's what a wonderful correlation, isn't it? Science is now discovering what was written over 2,000 years ago. So, my take from that statement, these two, the statements I've read from both the scientific journal as well as the book of Proverbs, is that I am responsible for my happiness as an individual. So I can either make myself very miserable or happy by how I react to internal and external factors by using emotional intelligence. So my reaction to what goes on internally, my internal dialogue, which was the medical journal called it the endogenic factors. So the internal dialogues that goes on within you. So, and then the external factors, which it refers to as the exogenic factors. So how I react to what happens internally and externally using emotional intelligence actually determines my happiness. You see that? So this brings me to my next point. I am quite intrigued with a number of research in by neuroscientists, and particularly there is some research by two doctors anyway. One is Dr. Caroline Leaf, and the other one is Dr. Joe Dispenza. You see, from the result of their research, it showed that emotions of stress can chemically affect our bodies and even suppress the immune system. So this kind of links up to what we said earlier. And so that it means that the emotions we evoke when faced with situations will determine how our body will react. Okay. Now also when we look at other fields of other medical fields, when we look at advances in medical engineering, due to the artificial intelligence, human-machine interface, which has significantly transformed the design and manufacture of prosthetics. So prosthetic devices that amputees use. You now have, the advances has gone so, we have had quite a significant advances in this field that now you have mind control prosthetic limbs. And this the amputees can actually use these. It's been modified in such a way that it can help them to, to live a more adaptive and normal life. You see, the reason why I'm kind of citing this is I'm trying to bring to this discourse the power of your mind. Okay, the power of the human mind. Because the human mind, the power of your mind is what actually controls your emotion. You see, and your emotion will align with the direction of your personal thoughts and feelings. That is your thought pattern. So simply put, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. You see, emotions, it can be viewed as energy emotion. So emotions can be viewed as energy emotion. And so we are always sending and receiving information based on our personal thoughts and our feelings. Your thought patterns are vibrational, and whatever you vibrate, you will attract as a feedback into your life. For instance, if you are always anxious and worrying, the feedback is it will affect both your mental health and your physical health. So this means that your thoughts can evoke negative emotions to create hormones of stress, which can suppress your immune system and leave your body vulnerable to disease. Likewise, your thoughts can evoke positive emotions to create hormones of happiness, love, fulfillment, which are advantageous to your mental health and physical health. You see, my favorite book says, finally, my friends, keep your minds on whatever is true, on whatever is pure, on whatever is right, on whatever is holy, on whatever is friendly, and whatever is proper. Don't ever stop thinking about what is truly worthwhile and worthy of praise. So this kind of also, this what I read right now is also a quotation taken, written over 2,000 years ago. So it's kind of giving us an insight in what we should be focusing on things that we can be thinking about in order to evoke emotions, positive emotions that can create, that can get the hormones of happiness, the dopamines, that can get them regulating well for the, for the good functioning of our physical body, and as well as for the well-being of our mental health. So I would like to give you 4 steps which we can use to deal with to improve our mental and physical health. So being able to use them to deal with anxiety and stress. So step number 1, I called it word therapy. So using affirmations, word therapy. There is power in using affirmation. Using the affirmation of I am. So you say to yourself, I am healthy, I am fearless, I am happy, I am indomitable, irrespective of any circumstances that you are going through. You say to yourself, I have a sound mind, I have limitless potentials. No matter what you see around you, you keep affirming what you want to see in your life. That's the word therapy. Because whatever you add to I am, you will become. Let me say that again. Whatever you add to I am, you will become. This is because your words become flesh. And they also create positive or negative emotions, which can affect your mental and physical health. So making use of affirmations is quite very important. In fact, it brings to my mind the legend Mohamed Ali. You see, that dude know how to use words. The guy keeps saying to himself, I am the greatest, I am the greatest, and he believed that. So at his peak, he became the greatest, and if you read his autobiography, he is a man of many words. He knows how to use words. Most of his accomplishments have the power of words, because you become what you continuously profess. So let's go to the next step. So the next step in this in this step is this: use the power of your mind. You can either use your mind constructively. You have to use your mind constructively rather than destructively to create the life that you desire and to fulfill your purpose. You will always attract energy that is in harmony with the vibration frequency of your personal thoughts and feelings. Again, this also telling us about how we use our mind and the things that we say. For instance, if your dominant thoughts are positive, if your dominant thoughts are positive thoughts of happiness, it will definitely generate positive emotions and attract the positive feedbacks into your life. Okay? On the other side, if your dominant thoughts are negative thoughts, it will definitely, negative thoughts of worrying and so on and so forth, it will definitely have a negative feedback. It will affect the mental health. You see, my favorite book says, be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning, exchanging your negative thoughts pattern for empowering thought patterns, which are perfect for your life. So step number 3, focus on positives. You see, life will always present you with two polarities, the positive and the negative. But you have to make it your responsibility to focus on the positive and ignore the negative. You know what? Happiness is a choice. Only you can decide to be happy irrespective of the circumstances around you. You know what? I have also noticed that laughter have a way of calming the body, laughing has a way of calming the body. You don't have to wait until you are happy before you can laugh. Because when you start laughing, the hormones of happiness will kick in. Okay? So you focus on the negative. All those fear-mongering and all those kind of news out there, everywhere. You filter out what you hear and just focus on the positives. Laugh. Even when they say that, everybody, whatever is it that they put out there, whatever you read in the journals or read in the news or whatever, focus on the positive and try to practice laughing. It's very therapeutic. The 4th one, use creative visualization. You see, you can use creative visualization to improve your mental and physical health. For instance, if you're not happy with the direction of your life, the way things are going currently in your life, you can change the dynamics by visualizing yourself living the life that you want, envisioning a better future. Okay? I know something. Surprisingly, the hormones in our brain associated with the emotions which we create during visualization, it will respond in a similar way that it will respond under real conditions. So your brain does not really know what you are visualizing and what you are going through. Okay? So you can visualize. That's why when you say to yourself, I am healthy, and you keep saying affirmative, using positive affirmation, your brain, your subconscious mind will begin to believe you. And it will trigger the hormones that are responsible for making your life better. Okay? So use of creative affirmation is very important in order to maintain a very good mental health and physical health and overcome anxieties. And I would say in closing, don't forget, you will always attract into your life whatever you focus your mind on. Because your thoughts and your words will create realities. Your thoughts, your thought pattern, what you think about, what your dominant thoughts, and the words that you use will create realities. The old philosopher says, your word will become flesh. My favorite book says, before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear them. It's telling you about the universe being there ready with the creative ability of the monarch of the universe, the sovereign God, ready to give you the real good things in life, if only you can focus on the positives. Your dominant thoughts and your words, they are like emotional triggers that set in motion creative energy that determines the direction of your life, either for your advantage or for your disadvantage. So you're gonna make it your responsibility to focus on the positives. Make it your responsibility to look beyond whatever is the current crisis, things that you are going through. Make it your responsibility to look beyond that. Begin to envision a better future. You see, the best way to prepare for that future that you want is to create it today. And you create it today by using these 4 steps, which I have just itemized. You can do more, but this basic one can get you started. So I hope that you've been able to get something out of this today's episode. You know, this is Masterpiece Inspirations. Our main purpose is to inspire you to begin to envision a way out, to begin to see that life can actually be can be changed, can be turned around in your favor, if only you can change the way you look at things. And hopefully you have taken some great values from this discourse, our conversation today. So I will be saying, keep dreaming, keep looking on the brighter side of life. Never give up. Okay? And I will see you at the top. I will be coming your way right back again by next week to bring you more inspirations that will help you to live above the systems and things that we are seeing at the moment, and even beyond. Okay? Thanks very much for listening to me, and have a lovely day. Whenever you listen to this, do give us a shout out.